It is the CIFN midday update for a midweek Wednesday. We say good day to Joe Camp with Comstock. Joe out in the field doing a little tillage here today on a foggy morning in central Illinois, but it looks like the grain prices are higher.
Grain prices are higher, sharply so for corn and wheat. We continue to talk for wheat about better export prospects. Russia, big exporters like that, still trying to control the supply, restrict exports. That bodes well for U.S. competition. And then for corn, some follow through here from the strength we saw yesterday. It was, of course, report day. I'm sure you had that recapped with the yield changes there. All in all, I think we've got a group of speculators that feel like there's some relief to see the numbers put behind us. We can get back to trading expectations for demand and also trading some of this chart guidance. We're looking at corn finds psychological support around 550 for futures. Soybeans trying to recover above that psychologically important $12 mark. So it's a good day of gains across the ag space here. In part two, that's a broader trend that we're seeing for commodities as a whole, still seeing and hearing all of this talk about inflation. That too, with today's CPI report, the consumer price index was sharply higher, up more than 6% for the last year. And that includes a food category with meat, poultry, eggs, et cetera, that was higher by 11% for the last 12 months. So we're still seeing rising prices in the economy. And in part, that's encouraged some speculation here and some further buying for the grains. Now, on the cash side, we also see that supply may be somewhat limited by this harvest coming to its tail end. We've got farmers that have wrapped up in many areas across the Corn Belt their row crop harvest, and now the bin doors are shut. So we're looking at the buyers and what kind of coverage they have, seeing good basis levels for the most part still speak to what is strong demand around the country for crops.
Any idea what USDA could throw at us next time for numbers?
Yeah, so on the December report, we don't have a crop production update, so there won't likely be any changes to the yield numbers again until January. And that allows us to focus now on the future report on demand. So what will exports be? What will ethanol grind, soybean crush be here in the months ahead? And so it is a continued transition after this last report that we'll see in the coming couple of releases from the USDA. But good to see it. You know, again, the harvest wrapped up, some settling of what we feel about supply, and then again, a focus on how are we going to use these crops. For now, we're still having some questions about exports. And so those reports each week and each day will give us guidance on that. We look at the dollar sharply higher right now is going to come into the mix. We've been a little bit pessimistic about export potential here lately, but domestic demand, again, I mentioned ethanol grind and soy crush, still a lot of positivity about what's ahead for the domestic usage. And again, we can see that in the market, I think being talked about again today. But for a while, no real key crop reports except for these regular export numbers and like today, the ethanol grind and soy crush numbers eventually.
And Joe, how can they stay in touch and follow you for more information?
I'm filling in on the afternoon Comstock report here this week. So if anybody wants to take a look at that, you could access our trial subscription at comstock.com.
All right. Well, Joe, we always thank your updates. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, Kent. We'll see you.
All right. Joe Camp with Comstock on the CIFN midday update for a Wednesday. Again, brought to you by Integrated Seed Solutions in Flanagan, plus Steininger Tires in Fairbury. Everybody have a great day. We'll catch you tomorrow.